Now is attorney and legal expert Dina Doll. Dina, thanks for being here. You know, we just heard from that lawyer who says the father could be to blame. The big question here is who is to blame? Is this a failure of laws, a failure of parenting, a failure of policing? Who do we blame?
There's probably a little bit of blame for everybody to go around here. And I think one thing is clear, Illinois had some really strong gun restrictions on the books. And this shows how much of it depended, the enforcement depended on family members or friends kind of alerting the police to the problems of the child. There's not that much the police can do if they don't know what is happening. But as we also know, there was the 2019 police where they were called, and did they do enough afterwards? As I said, there's probably a little bit of blame to go around with everybody here.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit more. I mean, was there anything, what could police have done, you know, to prevent him? Obviously, he's a suspected shooter here, from buying those weapons after his father had signed off on that consent form.
Well, we know that the police filed a report that he was a clear and present danger, but the determination higher up did not stand that he had if he had been determined to be a clear and present danger, then even if the father had kind of co-signed for that permit, they still could have denied the permit. So that, you can argue, would be a failing of the police. Although they did try to do that report, they did properly go through the channels. Ultimately, as we now know in hindsight, that was the wrong determination.
Right. And, you know, of course, we know hindsight is always 20/20. But talk to us, you know, a little bit more about what kind of charges Cremo's father could be facing if, you know, if police, if law, you know, if the law determines he was, in fact, culpable here.
Well, the most important thing that we know is he signed this affidavit back in 2019, which allowed his son to get the gun when he otherwise wouldn't have been allowed to do it. So he was basically saying that he was responsible, liable for any damages at the time, kind of vouching for him because it was considered to be a public safety issue to have an underage person with a gun. We know at the time, just a few months before, the police were called because of threats he made to kill everyone. The father is now saying through his attorney he didn't know that much about it. But to me, that means that you're reckless in co-signing. If you didn't know that much about it, you had a duty to find out why the police were called before vouching for him to be safe to own this gun.
Well, Dina, let's talk legal precedent here. Is there any precedent to charge a parent when their child commits this type of crime? We know there's that similar case unfolding in Michigan after a school shooting in Oxford, but that suspect is a minor.
Exactly. That suspect was a minor. At the time that he did the permit, he was also a minor for this Highland Park shooter. I think the big difference between the two, both of them took an action that helped their child get a gun that then ended up being used to kill many people. The difference is that when the Highland Park's father did it, it was like 3 years before he actually committed the crime. Whereas in the Oxford High School, it was just really a matter of days. So that's probably what his lawyer is going to argue, is this was not foreseeable. By the time his son did commit this violent act, he was already adult. He could have already bought that gun by himself. How long did vouching for your son make you liable for his crimes? What if it was 50 years later? That's going to be the argument, that it was too long. The time span was no longer foreseeable for the father.
Yeah, we know that those families now left reeling for the rest of their lives. All right, Dina Doll, we thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.